All right, so picture this. You're about to go into a job interview.
Okay.
But instead of talking about, spreadsheets
Right.
or your project management experience, you're diving into the world of tarot runes and maybe even a little palmistry.
I like it.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of becoming a fortune teller.
Oh, wow.
We're going to try to equip you with the insights and strategies to absolutely nail that interview using RoleCatcher's incredible career resources as our guide.
It's fascinating because a lot of people, I think, underestimate the depth and the nuance involved in being a fortune teller.
Right.
It's not just about predicting the future.
Yeah.
It's about guiding people, helping them to tap into their own intuition and make, informed decisions about their lives.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit before we get to the actual interview questions.
Sure.
What does RoleCatcher tell us about what this role really entails?
Okay.
I mean, what's a day in the life of a fortune teller actually like?
Well, it can be surprisingly diverse. Yeah. So some fortune tellers have their own practices. They work one-on-one with clients. Others might work in, spiritual shops,
right,
or even offer their services online.
Yeah.
But what unites them is this ability to use their intuition and their chosen divination tools to help clients understand their lives.
So it's a blend of ancient wisdom and modern practices, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of modern practices, RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer in preparing for these interviews.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, it is amazing.
Think of it as having a personalized coach.
Oh, wow.
That analyzes job descriptions.
Okay.
Identifies the specific skills that employers are looking for, and it can even give you feedback on your interview answers.
Wow.
So you're not just guessing, what will resonate with a hiring manager.
That's really cool.
It really is.
Okay, so let's get to those questions.
All right, let's do it.
RoleCatcher's Guide highlights 9 common ones, and we're going to break them down one by one and offer strategies and insights to help you craft compelling answers. The first one is a classic.
Okay.
What inspired you to become a fortune teller?
This one seems straightforward,
Yeah.
But the interviewer is looking for more than just a surface-level response. They're trying to gauge your passion, your authenticity, to see if you genuinely connect with this path.
So it's about sharing your personal story, right?
Exactly.
Like what sparked your interest in divination?
Yeah.
Was it a life-changing reading, a fascination with symbolism,
Yeah,
or maybe even like a family tradition?
Right. Be genuine. Avoid generic answers.
Okay.
What's your unique story?
Yeah.
This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
Okay.
You can actually input your answer and get feedback on whether it's hitting the right notes in terms of the skills and qualities that the employer values.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
It is.
It's like having a second set of eyes to help you fine-tune your responses.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to question number 2. How do you use divination tools to give accurate readings?
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
I can see how this could be a little tricky.
I know it's kind of a loaded question.
It is.
Yeah.
The key is to strike a balance between demonstrating your knowledge and your skills without overstating your abilities or making it seem like the tools do all the work.
Right.
Okay, so start by briefly explaining your chosen tools,
Okay.
whether it's tarot runes or palmistry, and how they help you to tap into your intuition.
So you're the interpreter, the guide, right?
Yes.
The tools are just a means to connect with your intuition and the energies surrounding the client.
Exactly. And be mindful of using too much jargon.
Okay.
Keep your language clear and concise so anyone can understand, even if they're not familiar with these practices.
Right.
You want to communicate that you are the one interpreting the symbols and providing the insights.
Right. You're not just reading off of a script.
Right. Exactly.
That's a great point. You're bringing your own knowledge, experience, and intuition to the table.
Yeah.
It's not just about the tools themselves. Now, this next question is a bit more sensitive. How do you handle difficult or sensitive readings?
I imagine this can be emotionally challenging.
I would think so.
It can be.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to see that you have empathy,
Right.
emotional intelligence,
Right.
that you can provide support in potentially, charged situations without getting overwhelmed yourself.
So it's about creating a safe space for the client.
Yeah.
Being a good listener and offering guidance without judgment.
Precisely highlight your compassion and your ability to navigate, challenging emotional landscapes.
Yeah.
You might mention any experience you have with counseling,
Okay.
active listening techniques, or even personal practices like meditation that help you stay grounded.
And don't downplay the emotional impact of this work, right?
No.
Acknowledge that these readings can be tough.
Yeah.
but emphasize your ability to handle those situations with professionalism and care. Okay, speaking of professionalism, the next question is all about ethics. How do you ensure that your readings are ethical and responsible?
This is a big one.
I bet.
Especially in a field that can be prone to misconceptions.
Right.
You need to demonstrate a strong understanding of ethical practices.
Okay.
So start with informed consent. Clients need to know what to expect.
Yeah.
And have the right to choose whether or not to proceed.
And confidentiality is crucial, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's shared in a reading stays in the reading.
Yes.
You're building trust with your clients.
Exactly. You also want to address the issue of, potentially harmful predictions.
Okay.
Explain that you avoid making definitive claims about the future and that you focus on empowering clients to make their own choices.
Okay.
RoleCatcher actually has a whole section on ethical considerations for fortune tellers.
Oh, wow.
So it can help you really flesh out your response to this question.
That's so helpful. It's like having an ethical guidebook specifically tailored to this profession.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to question number 5. How do you continue to develop and enhance your skills as a fortune teller?
Okay.
I imagine continuous learning is really important in this field.
It's essential the interviewer wants to see that you're dedicated to growth and staying up to date with, different approaches and techniques.
Okay.
Be specific about the steps you take to enhance your skills.
So share any workshops or certifications you've completed, books you've read, or even like personal practices you engage in to refine your intuition.
Yes, and don't be afraid to talk about exploring new techniques or experimenting with different approaches.
Yeah.
It shows you're curious and committed to deepening your understanding. Avoid giving the impression that you've learned it all.
Right.
Humility and a thirst for knowledge are really important in this field.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Now, this next question is one that I think a lot of people in this field might dread.
Yeah.
How do you handle skeptics or those who do not believe in fortune telling?
Oh, this is a good one. It's a loaded question.
Yeah.
But it's one you're bound to encounter.
Yeah, I think so.
It is, and it's a chance to showcase your communication skills and your ability to navigate potentially challenging conversations with respect and grace.
Right.
Remember, not everyone has to believe in what you do. And your job isn't to convert them.
Right.
It's about communicating your practice clearly and respectfully.
So avoid getting defensive.
Yeah.
Maybe acknowledge that not everyone shares those beliefs.
Right.
And that you approach those conversations with curiosity and understanding.
Exactly. You might even frame it as an opportunity to educate others about your practice.
Okay.
And demystify some of the common misconceptions. You're offering a different perspective, not trying to force your beliefs on anyone.
That's a great point. And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful.
For sure.
You can actually practice your response to this question and get feedback on your tone, your language, even your body language, to make sure you're coming across as confident and respectful.
Absolutely. It's like having a virtual rehearsal to help you nail those tricky conversations. All right, let's move on to a question that allows you to share your experience.
Okay.
Can you provide an example of a particularly memorable reading you gave and how it impacted the querent's life?
Now we're getting to the heart of it.
I know, right?
This is where you can really showcase your skills and the positive impact you've had on people's lives.
Absolutely.
But before you dive into a story, could you explain what querent means?
Sure.
For those who might not be familiar with the term.
Of course, the querent is simply the person seeking the reading.
Okay.
They're the one asking the questions and seeking guidance. Now, when choosing an example, make sure it doesn't reveal any confidential information about a past client.
Right.
Focus on a reading that highlights your ability to provide guidance support or a new perspective that helps the client in a meaningful way.
So instead of focusing on, dramatic predictions, maybe choose a reading that demonstrates your ability to help someone through like a difficult decision or transition.
Right. You want to highlight your skills and empathy.
Yeah.
Without overstating your abilities or making any unrealistic claims.
Right.
For example, you could talk about a client who is struggling with a career choice.
Okay.
And how you use tarot cards to help them explore their options, identify their fears, and ultimately make a decision that felt aligned with their values and goals.
I can see how that would be a compelling example. It shows the practical application of your skills and the positive impact you can have on someone's life. It's about empowerment, not just prediction. Okay, on to question number 8. How do you tailor your readings to meet the specific needs of each querent?
This is where you show that you're not a one-size-fits-all kind of fortune teller.
Right, exactly.
Well,
You want to highlight your ability to adapt your approach to each individual client.
yes. Start by explaining how you get to know the person before the reading begins.
Okay.
Do you ask specific questions?
Yeah.
Do you have them choose a spread that resonates with their situation?
It's about gathering information and tailoring your approach accordingly.
Right?
It's like a doctor taking a patient's history before making a diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand the individual's needs and concerns before offering guidance.
Precisely. You might say something like, before each reading, I take time to connect with the client
Okay.
and understand their specific needs and intentions.
Uh-huh.
I might ask them about their current challenges or hopes for the future.
Okay.
This helps me choose a spread or a technique that will resonate with their situation
Yeah.
and provide them with the most relevant insights.
That's a great way to demonstrate your thoughtfulness and your commitment to providing personalized service.
Right.
It shows that you're not just reading from a script,
Mm-hmm.
but truly engaging with each individual.
Exactly. And again, RoleCatcher can help you refine your answer.
Oh, great.
You can see if it effectively highlights the skills and qualities that employers value in this role.
It's like having a personal coach to help you put your best foot forward. Now, the final question we'll cover in this part of our deep dive is all about logistics. How do you manage your schedule and ensure that you are able to provide quality readings to all of your clients?
This is where you show off your organizational skills and your commitment to providing excellent service.
Right.
Describe your system for scheduling appointments,
Okay.
managing your time, and avoiding overbooking.
So do you use online booking software?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a set number of readings you offer per day or per week?
Yeah.
What steps do you take to stay organized and ensure you're giving each client your full attention?
Those are all great points to address. You want to communicate that you have a system in place that allows you to stay focused and avoid burnout.
You might even mention techniques you use to stay grounded and energized throughout the day,
Yeah.
such as meditation or taking short breaks between readings.
Absolutely.
It shows that you're mindful of your own well-being, which in turn allows you to be fully present for your clients.
That's an excellent insight. Remember, being a fortune teller is both an art and a business.
Yeah.
You need to be able to manage both aspects effectively to build a successful practice.
And that's a wrap on this part of our deep dive into becoming a fortune teller.
I know, right?
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's so much more to explore.
We'll be back soon
Yeah.
with more insightful questions and expert strategies to help you shine in that interview.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into preparing for that fortune teller interview.
I'm so excited to continue this journey with you. The questions we covered in the last part really opened my eyes to the depth and nuance of this profession.
It's definitely more than meets the eye. These next few questions from RoleCatcher's Guide delve even deeper into the practical and philosophical aspects of the role. For
Okay.
instance, how do you manage client expectations, especially when they come in seeking specific predictions or outcomes?
That's a question I've always wondered about. I can imagine clients sometimes have unrealistic expectations, maybe influenced by what they've seen in movies or TV shows.
Right?
How do you handle that delicate balance of offering guidance without making promises you can't keep?
Honesty and transparency are key. Right from the start, you want to set realistic expectations about what a reading can and cannot do. Explain that you're not a mind reader who can provide a guaranteed glimpse into the future.
So you're emphasizing that you're offering insights based on the energies and patterns you perceive,
Right.
but ultimately the client has free will and the power to shape their own destiny.
Exactly. You might say something like, my readings are designed to empower you with information and different perspectives.
Okay.
But the choices you make and the actions you take are ultimately what will determine your future.
That makes a lot of sense. You're guiding them towards self-empowerment, not creating a dependency on predictions. It's about helping them tap into their own intuition and make choices that align with their highest good.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to gently redirect clients who come in with overly specific questions like, will I win the lottery next week?
Oh, yeah?
Guide them towards broader questions about their life path, their relationships, or their career choices.
It's about helping them focus on self-discovery and personal growth, rather than seeking quick fixes or easy answers. Speaking of self-discovery, the next question asks, what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced as a fortune teller, and how have you overcome them? This one feels more personal, but it's a chance to show your resilience and dedication to this path.
It is. This quotient allows you to share your unique journey and demonstrate that you've faced and overcome obstacles. The specific challenges you choose to highlight will depend on your own experiences, but some common themes might include dealing with skeptics, navigating ethical dilemmas, or even managing the emotional intensity of this work.
You could also talk about challenges related to running your own business, finding clients, or even dealing with burnout.
Great.
These are all real-life issues that fortune tellers face.
They are, and when discussing these challenges, be sure to emphasize the strategies you've used to overcome them.
Okay.
Did you seek mentorship? Did you develop coping mechanisms? Did you invest in professional development? It's about showing that you're proactive, resourceful, and committed to continuous growth.
That's so important in any profession, but especially in one where you're constantly dealing with the complexities of human experience.
Absolutely.
It's not always easy, and acknowledging that shows self-awareness.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears and talk about connecting with clients.
Okay.
The next question asks, how do you create a safe and welcoming space for your clients, especially those who might be feeling vulnerable or uncertain? This is so crucial because people often turn to fortune tellers during times of transition or crisis.
Right.
They need to feel heard, understood, and supported.
Absolutely. This question is really assessing your empathy, your listening skills, and your ability to establish trust and rapport. When answering, focus on the specific steps you take to make your clients feel comfortable. Do you create a calming atmosphere in your reading space? Do you offer them a beverage or a moment to collect themselves?
Okay.
Active listening is crucial.
Right.
Make eye contact, nod your head, and ask clarifying questions to show that you're fully present with them. Remember, it's about creating a sanctuary where they feel safe enough to be open and honest.
That makes me think of how RoleCatcher's AI can analyze thousands of interview responses and pinpoint what resonates with hiring managers. It can even suggest subtle adjustments to your wording or tone to help you create that sense of warmth and trust.
That's a great point. It's like having a secret weapon to decode the unspoken expectations of the interview process. All right, let's move on to a question that can sometimes be a stumbling block for fortune tellers, especially those new to the business side of things.
Okay.
How do you attract new clients and promote your services?
This is a reminder that being a successful fortune teller isn't just about giving insightful readings.
Right.
It's also about running a business.
Yeah.
You need to market yourself effectively.
You do, and the marketing landscape for fortune tellers is always evolving, especially with the rise of online platforms and social media. When answering this question, think about the specific strategies you use to reach your target audience.
Okay.
Do you have a website? Are you active on social media? Do you network with other practitioners? Do you attend psychic fairs?
It seems like there's so many options.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who's feeling overwhelmed by all the choices?
I'd say start by identifying your ideal client.
Hope.
Who are you trying to reach?
Okay.
What are their needs and interests?
Uh-huh.
Once you have a clear picture of your target audience, you can tailor your marketing efforts accordingly.
That's a great tip. It's about focusing your energy on the people who are most likely to resonate with your services. It's also important to be authentic and let your personality shine through in your marketing materials.
Yes.
People are drawn to genuine connections, not just flashy ads.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of word-of-mouth marketing.
Yeah.
Satisfied clients are your best advertisements. Encourage them to share their positive experiences with friends and family.
That's a great point. Happy clients are walking, talking testimonials. Okay, moving on to a question that can be a bit tricky.
Okay.
How do you handle negative feedback or criticism, especially from clients who might not be satisfied with their reading? This is a reality in any service-based profession, and it's important to handle it with grace.
It is. Remember, not every reading will resonate with every client.
Right.
And that's okay. It's how you handle those situations that matters.
Yeah.
Start by acknowledging the client's feedback and thanking them for their honesty.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with their assessment, it's important to validate their feelings.
So it's about listening with an open heart and trying to understand their perspective,
Yes.
even if you don't share it.
Exactly. And if appropriate, you can offer to clarify any misunderstandings or explain your approach in more detail. But if the client is simply unhappy with the reading, sometimes the best approach is to gracefully accept their feedback and move on.
Right.
You can't please everyone, and it's okay to acknowledge that. It's also important to protect your own energy and avoid getting drawn into lengthy debates or arguments.
That's such a valuable reminder. You can't take every piece of criticism personally. Now, this next question is especially relevant for those working in environments with other practitioners.
Okay.
How do you handle working with other fortune tellers, especially if you have different styles or approaches?
This question is about showcasing your ability to collaborate, to respect different perspectives, and to be a team player.
Okay.
Highlight your communication skills, your willingness to listen to others' ideas, and your ability to find common ground. You might even mention instances where you've learned from other practitioners or incorporated their techniques into your own style.
I love that. It's about acknowledging that there's always more to learn, and that collaboration can enrich everyone involved. It also shows humility and a willingness to grow.
Exactly. And remember, RoleCatcher can help you fine-tune your response to this question. Its AI can analyze successful interview answers and suggest ways to highlight the specific teamwork skills that employers value in this role.
It's like having a backstage pass to the hiring process.
No.
Okay, let's wrap up this part of our deep dive with a question that looks towards the future. What are your long-term goals as a fortune teller? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
This question is a chance to show your ambition, your vision, and your commitment to this path.
Okay.
Think about your aspirations.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to specialize in a particular type of divination?
Okay.
Do you dream of opening your own shop?
Uh-huh.
Do you see yourself writing books or teaching workshops?
It's about painting a picture of your ideal future and showcasing your enthusiasm for the possibilities within this field.
Exactly. And while it's important to be specific about your goals, don't be afraid to acknowledge that the future is always unfolding. As a fortune teller, you understand better than anyone that unexpected opportunities and twists of fate are always possible.
That's a beautiful reminder that even with all the planning and preparation in the world, sometimes the most magical moments happen when we least expect them. I think that's a perfect place to pause for now.
We'll be back soon to explore the final set of questions and insights from RoleCatcher's Guide. Stay tuned for more tips and strategies to help you navigate that fortune teller interview with confidence and clarity.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into becoming a fortune teller.
I'm excited to explore these last few questions with you. They really get to the heart of what it means to be a fortune teller, both in terms of skill and personal philosophy.
Yeah, it's like we're peeling back the layers and uncovering like the deeper essence of this work.
Uh-huh.
RoleCatcher's Guide has been such an insightful roadmap for this journey. Speaking of insights, let's dive into this next question.
Okay.
What do you believe is the role of intuition in fortune telling? How do you cultivate and trust your own intuition? This one feels particularly profound.
This is where you can share your personal understanding of intuition and how it informs your practice. It's an opportunity to differentiate yourself from other candidates and show the interviewer that you've given this some serious thought.
So it's not just about saying, I'm intuitive.
Right.
It's about articulating what intuition means to you.
Exactly.
How would you describe it?
Yeah.
Is it a gut feeling? A deep knowing?
Yeah.
A connection to something beyond the ordinary?
Define what intuition means in your own words.
Okay.
And then talk about how you cultivate and trust that inner voice.
Okay.
Do you meditate? Do you keep a dream journal? Do you spend time in nature? Share the specific practices that help you strengthen your connection to your intuition.
I've always been fascinated by the idea that intuition is a muscle that can be strengthened with practice.
Yeah.
It's not just something you're born with.
Yeah.
It's something you can develop.
Absolutely. And it's not always easy to trust those intuitive nudges.
Right.
Especially when they go against logic or conventional wisdom. You might even share a story about a time when you followed your intuition despite doubts, and it led to a positive outcome.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That would definitely make your answer more compelling and relatable.
Yeah.
It shows that you walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Now, switching gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about ethics. The next question asks, how do you handle situations where a client is seeking information that you feel is unethical or harmful to obtain?
Well,
this touches on the responsibility that comes with this work.
it does. This question shows the interviewer that you take your ethical obligations seriously.
Right.
And that you prioritize the well-being of your clients. It's crucial to have clear boundaries.
Okay.
And to be prepared to stand by them, even if it means turning away a potential client.
So how do you determine those boundaries?
Yeah.
What types of readings are you willing to do and what are off limits?
Start by identifying your own ethical guidelines. For example, you might decide that you won't do readings about health issues or legal matters. Those are best left to professionals in those fields.
Right.
It's about knowing your limits and not overstepping them.
And when a client requests a reading that falls outside of your boundaries, how do you handle that conversation?
Yeah.
It must be challenging to balance empathy with firmness.
It can be. The key is to be clear, respectful, and compassionate.
Okay.
Explain your reasoning in a way that validates their feelings while also standing firm in your decision.
Okay.
You might say something like, I understand you're seeking guidance on this matter,
Oh,
but it falls outside of my ethical boundaries. I'd be happy to refer you to a qualified professional who can better assist you.
that's a great example. It shows that you care about the client's well-being while also staying true to your principles. Now, this next question is more philosophical.
Okay.
What do you believe is the purpose or value of fortune telling? Why do you think people seek out these services? This feels like an invitation to share your personal philosophy.
It is. This question allows you to connect with the interviewer on a deeper level and articulate why this work is meaningful to you. You might talk about the human need for guidance, connection, or a sense of purpose, especially during times of uncertainty or transition.
Right.
Share stories about how your readings have helped people, or discuss how fortune telling can empower individuals to make more informed choices.
You could even draw parallels between fortune telling and other forms of self-discovery or spiritual practices.
Yeah.
It's about highlighting the transformative potential of this work.
Exactly. It's about showing the interviewer that you see fortune telling as more than just a novelty or a form of entertainment.
Right.
It's a powerful tool for self-awareness, growth, and connection. And speaking of connection, remember that RoleCatcher can analyze successful interview responses
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and help you tailor your answer to highlight the values and qualities that resonate most with employers in this field.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for the hiring process.
It is.
Okay, we're nearing the end of our interview prep journey, but there's one last question that I think is particularly insightful.
Okay.
What advice would you give someone who's considering a career as a fortune teller?
This is a chance to share your wisdom, your experience, and your passion for this path. The advice you offer will reflect your own unique journey.
Yeah.
But some common themes might include the importance of developing your intuition, honing your communication skills, establishing clear ethical boundaries, and embracing continuous learning.
Okay.
Encourage them to find a mentor, connect with a community of like-minded practitioners, and never stop exploring and expanding their knowledge of this fascinating field.
Yeah.
Remind them that being a fortune teller is more than just a job. It's a calling.
Yeah.
It's about using your gifts to serve others and to make a positive difference in the world.
That's beautifully said. It's a reminder that this work goes beyond the surface level of, predicting the future. It's about tapping into something deeper, something that connects us to our own intuition and to the mysteries of the universe. And on that inspiring note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of becoming a fortune teller. We've explored a wide range of questions and strategies, all with the goal of helping you approach that interview with confidence and authenticity.
Remember, RoleCatcher is a valuable resource on this journey. Its AI-powered tools can help you tailor your resume, practice your answers, and get feedback on your delivery,
Right.
giving you an extra edge in a competitive job market.
So whether you're a seasoned mystic or just starting to explore this path, we wish you all the best in your interview. Trust your intuition, embrace your unique gifts, and never stop learning and growing.
Yeah.
The future is yours to create.
Good luck.